Want to know a little well known secret about my household? My husband, Rob, is best friends with the Amazon delivery guy. And me? Well, I'm best friends with the Amazon return girl. See, Rob orders things he swears we need. Let's not talk about the full sized outdoor playhouse for our kids. Our kids are grown and flown, and the only grandkids are long plane trips away. The only response he has, I always wanted one of these. And I, armed with a barcode scanner and a strong sense of financial responsibility, promptly send it back. It's a delicate ecosystem of impulse and intervention. But in many ways, this battle of impulse control plays out on a much larger scale for people like Rob, people with a history of brain trauma. When the brain suffers trauma, whether from a car accident, a sports injury, or combat, it's not just memory and mobility that take a hit. The very circuits that regulate decision making, impulse control, and reward seeking behaviors get rewired. Research shows that people with a history of brain trauma are significantly more likely to develop addiction. In fact, studies suggest that up to 50% of individuals with a traumatic brain injury, TBI, struggle with substance abuse, Corrigan et al., 2010, compared to roughly 10% of the general population, NIDA 2020. But why do people with brain injuries experience addiction at such a higher rate? The answer lies in brain chemistry. When the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control, is damaged, it weakens a person's ability to weigh long term consequences. Meanwhile, the limbic system, the brain's reward center, craves dopamine, that feel good chemical that substances like alcohol, opioids, or even shopping can provide. The result, a dangerous cycle of poor decision making and immediate gratification. As Dr. John Corrigan of Ohio State University puts it, TBI survivors often self medicate to cope with pain, anxiety, or frustration over lost abilities. Corrigan et al., 2010. So, what can we do? How do we break this cycle? First, education and awareness. We need to recognize that addiction in brain trauma survivors isn't a failure of willpower, it's a neurological challenge. Second, tailored treatment. Traditional addiction programs may not address the cognitive challenges of brain injury survivors, so they need specialized therapies that focus on impulse control and behavioral management. Third, community support. The road to recovery isn't walked alone. Families, caregivers, and medical professionals must work together to create structured environments that minimize risk and maximize recovery. And lastly, patience. Because if I can return 5 packages a week to Amazon without losing my mind, then surely we can find a way to help those with brain trauma navigate addiction and reclaim their lives. My husband Rob and myself, Heather, have been dealing with the long term effects of multiple TBIs while serving in the military. Now, over 30 years later, we deal with Parkinsonism, frontal temporal dementia, vision loss, speech aphasia, as well as a host of other neurological and physical issues. With decades of knowledge and our own personal battles won and lost, we hope to better equip others who face the same or similar experiences. Thank you for listening, Robin's Nest Alliance.